What's up, guys? Pop by Pigs for Life here, and today we're back with another episode of The Future of Hammond's Dream, Season 4 in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So, if you guys remember from last episode, we got a pretty hefty amount done on the park. We added in so many new species. So, to start, we finished up the Morrison Formation by adding in several Stegosaurus, as well as an absolute ton of Dryosaurus that can go between here and the Brachiosaurus enclosure, which is another addition to the park. Let's see, also we added in an enclosure for some Muttaburrasaurus. We added in an Australovenator enclosure. And we worked on these guest sections, and of course we also added in the little Lystrosaurus. So yeah, so like I mentioned, we worked on these amazing guest sections. Like, these just look so awesome. And we also worked a little bit on the entry guest section, and we sort of laid the groundwork for what we're going to do this episode, and that is adding in a couple more species. So what we're going to do is right over here, we've got a little bit more work that needs to be done in terms of creating an enclosure. This is going to be for Dimetrodon. This lagoon is going to be for Dunkleosteus, and then we're going to have an enclosure right over here for some Ceratosaurus. So, I think that a great place to start is with the Dunkleosteus. So, I did do a little bit of a test, and I found out that, once again, if we add on the humble trait, then they will have plenty of room in this little area. So now, there will be plenty of ways for guests to view the Dunkleosteus. They have this little viewing dome over here. And what I might honestly even do is might add in this little, like, lookout section. So perfect. So now guests can get a view of the shark feeder. Alright, so while those guys are cooking, let's get started on the Dimetrodon enclosure. Yeah, the thing with this enclosure especially is I really want to optimize the amount of space that we have. Alright, I think that looks pretty good for a Dimetrodon enclosure. And looks like the Dunkleosteus are ready, so let's release these guys into their lagoon. Ooh, okay. I see. Alright, not bad. This one's a little bit bland, but that's okay. Also, they need fish. Like, regular fish. Sure, they can eat from the, shark feeder, but they need regular fish, too. And let's put it over there so that way, it encourages them to go all the way over there. Perfect. So, yeah, as you guys can tell, we're really sticking with the pre-dinosaur era, so like the Paleozoic. Now, obviously, these three species wouldn't coexist because of, like, you know, different stages of the Paleozoic. Like, obviously Dimetrodon lived during the Permian. I believe that the Dunkleosteus lived during the Devonian? That sounds correct. They lived during the Devonian. And the Lhotse, I believe, lived in, like, the very early stages of the Triassic, actually. Though, I believe they also lived at, like, the late Permian. But they survived, obviously, a whole lot longer than, the Dimetrodons did. So yeah, a little bit of a history / prehistory lesson. Alright, so now we can release the Dimetrodons into their enclosure. Alrighty guys, just wanted to chime in really quickly and say that I really apologize that it has been a while since I have uploaded a video. I wanted to get this video out a week ago, but I ended up getting incredibly sick. Don't worry, I'm feeling much better now. And when I first got sick, the video was 95% done. I just had to do a couple little bits of voiceover, as you are currently hearing now, and my voice was not up for it. Like, I had completely lost my voice. So because of that, I do apologize for the delay, and I wanted to once again thank you guys for all your patience. Alright guys, so after a little bit of testing out the foliage brushes and just the, like, environmental, like, editing tools, I managed to get the perfect balance for all of the Dimetrodons. Alright, so now that these guys are settled into their enclosure, now it is time that we work on the enclosure for the Ceratosaurus. Now, this time I feel like we don't need to use the humble trait for the Ceratosaurus because, well, this is quite a lot of room for the Ceratosaurus. Alright, that should be good for the Ceratos. So now, like I said, we are probably not going to need to add in the humble trait because it is quite a sizable enclosure. And let's airlift them. And since they only really need, like, water and goat feeder, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to style this area a little bit more like the Morrison formation, and I'm gonna add in some of, you know, the tall nuts and the cycad grove. Obviously they need some water, so nice little watering hole. There we go. Very straightforward, very simple. Maybe I'll add in a little bit more water. I do want to encourage them to go to the other side of the enclosure, but at the same time, you know, in the events that they're thirsty. Ooh, what I might even do is I might connect it up. There we go. Alright, they've got quite a hefty amount of room. But yeah, no, this is perfect. Ooh. Oh, is this the Galaxy Cerato? It is the Galaxy Cerato! Okay, yeah, they do need an extra prey feeder. Nothing we can't fix. Perfect. And then, you know, just to add in a little bit more character. Alright, perfect. They still have plenty of room. Excellent. And right along here, we can just add in some palm trees. Add in a couple here. Perfect. Alright, so now that that's done, now that we added in those animals, what we're gonna do is we're going to move on to the next section of the park. So that section is going to be the Namek formation. So I think what we're going to do is, to finish off this episode, we're going to work on this guest section over here, which will be looking into the Therizinosaurus, Mononykus, and Oviraptor enclosure. And then next episode, we'll do a Kilobator right in here. We'll do Tarbosaurus right in there. And then we'll do Dinochirus, Gallimimus, and Homalocephaly. And that will be it for the Future of Hammond's Dream Season 4. Okay guys, so as you can see right over here, I'm getting a little bit distracted because I really did not like the way that the viewing gallery into the Lhotse enclosure was looking. It looked very off to me. So because of that, I went on a little bit of a side tangent and I fixed that up and lined it up so that way all the multi-wall pieces would be just enough to keep the Lhotse in. So this isn't the only time I went back to fix this area. You'll see in a little bit. But yeah, this is definitely a start, and it already looks so much better. Okay, so I think to start, let's start by mapping out where exactly the guest section is gonna be. And I think that, yeah, right along here, this will all be guest section. I think that right there. Ooh, that is nice, actually. So, much like with the other guest section that we worked on last episode, I want a healthy mix of definite shapes, like squares and circles and stuff, but also a little bit more abstractness to the area. So right over here we've got like a square, but then we curve it around. There, that's perfect actually. What if we were to do like a really small guest section, like right over here? That I think would be cool. Like, it'd be really small. Like, it would literally just be like a couple of amenities and a like restroom and a shelter. Something like that. There. And then once again playing with the abstract shapes. Yeah, no, so that actually works pretty well, in my opinion. So, let's see. There we go. I actually really like that. And then what we could even do is, let me see one of these. And that way, it's all connected. Perfect. So now what I think we should do is let's work on the actual enclosure itself. So that way we know exactly what we need to put where in terms of facilities. Alright guys, so as we are working on this rather unexpected little guest section, I just wanted to briefly mention that if you are enjoying this video so far, and you want to see some more Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution 2 content, then I highly recommend liking this video and subscribing to the channel, because not only is that supporting me and my channel, but it's also helping the YouTube algorithm recommend more videos that you might like from other channels, such as Evolution Square, Delay Designer is another one of my favorite Planet Zoo YouTubers. With all that aside, if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, or you just have something you want to share, then definitely feel free to leave it down in the comment section. The only thing is, I probably will add some comment section guidelines. So please just make sure to follow the comment section guidelines, and I can assure you we will not have any problems. Alright, I want to give my voice a little bit of a break because I'm still a tiny bit sick, but before I do that, I just wanted to quickly remind you guys that just by taking the time out of your day to watch this video is showing me a tremendous amount of support. So because of that, I am forever grateful for all the support that you have shown, not only on this video, but on all of my videos. And from the bottom of my heart, words simply cannot describe how appreciative I am of all of your support over the past 3 years of making videos. So thank you all so much for all the incredible support. Alright, I'm gonna go give my voice a little bit of a break. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I'll see you once this thing's done. Alrighty, I must say, this looks pretty good. Love this little guest section we have over here. Very not planned, very, like, last minute, but overall, looks really good. And I love the little, like, zipline triangle that you've got going on, like, for the more adventurous people out there. I know I'm not one of them. I could never go on a zipline. I'm very afraid of heights. So, now all we have to do is get the dinosaurs. So, let's see. So, let's start with the Mononykus. Then we do Oviraptor. And then I think that for now we'll do a pair of Therizinosaurus. Oh, what are the chances? What are the chances we get Therizinosaurus 2022? Okay, there we go. So yeah, so these guys, ground leaf, sand, and ground leaf. But I like the idea of using the tall leaf rather than the ground leaf, because Therizinosaurus would have used its long claws to reach the tallest branches. And then let's sprinkle in a little bit of this. Looks a little bit more sparse, which is kind of the vibe we want to go for. And then we add in a meat feeder. There we go. That looks excellent. Alrighty, so it looks like the first of the Mononykus are being airlifted into the enclosure. Let's see, they need a little bit more sand and water. Okay, that's enough sand. Maybe we should do like a small little oasis. And then we got this big lake right over here. And then, what I might do, add a little bit of an island. A little bit of terrain elevation. Ooh, you know what? That's what this enclosure needs, is terrain elevation. And then smooth that out. And it's perfect. Add in a little bit of this. And then also, maybe scatter in a couple of rocks. There, gives it a lot more character now. Ooh, and first the Oviraptors are being flown in. So let's add in another meat feeder a little bit closer to their territory. Alright, that should do it. Look at the little chickens. They really are like little chickens. Man, I've spent way too much time around my grandparents' chickens, that's for sure. But I love these little guys. Ooh, the first of the Therizinosaurus is being airlifted. Ooh, and this is the Dominion skin. Down she goes. To be completely honest, might do a couple more of each. Honestly, I think I'm gonna do like 2 more Therizinosaurus. And like another batch of Oviraptors. Another 2022 skin. Kind of want a bit of a big herd of Therizinosaurus, like, we see in, I believe it's called Chased by Dinosaurs. I just remember that, Nigel Marvin runs into a pretty large herd of Therizinosaurus that are just browsing. Do I do some more Mononykus? What do we have to lose? More Mononykus. Alright, the 3rd and 4th Therizinosaurus are being airlifted in. Alright, let's see. This is the 2nd Dominion skin. Alright, a little bit of a big enclosure, but you know what? Not bad. Not bad. Alright, so now for this next section of the video, I think that we're going to work on the guest section. And for this part, what we're going to do is we're going to do a time lapse. So, without further talking, let's get started. Okay guys, so while we are working on this next big guest section, I really quickly want to touch base with you all about the future of the channel. So as we are getting closer and closer to the release date of Jurassic World Rebirth, I have a feeling that sometime at the beginning of 2025, we're going to be getting a trailer for Jurassic World Evolution 3, or whatever the game is going to be called. Once Jurassic World Evolution 3 is officially announced, all Planet Zoo content on the channel is going to temporarily be put on pause, because I really want to finish up the future of Hammond's dream before the release of Jurassic World Evolution 3. I had briefly touched up upon this in a past video, but my ultimate goal for the future of Hammond's dream as a whole is to use every single non-hybrid dinosaur species, every single pterosaur, every single lagoon species. So because that, we will be prioritizing all of
the species that we have not used. And don't worry, I have compiled a list of species that will appear in future park builds. So because that, I want to try and get that all finished before the release of Jurassic World Evolution 3. So that is what we will be focusing on. We're not gonna stop Planet Zoo content entirely, but Planet Zoo is still going strong. In fact, I believe it has been announced that we might be getting some more content for Planet Zoo. Sorry if my voice has been getting raspy. I've still been sick, and me talking a lot has made it raspy. So anyways, so for the nearer future, what's gonna happen is the video after this is going to be a Conservation Carnival video. After that, I am going to try and finish up the Future of Hammond's Dream Season 4 before 2025. So, pretty much after this video, all we really need is one more building episode, and then we can move on to the final tour. So because of that, I'm optimistic that we will be able to finish this before the end of 2024. However, I don't want to promise anything, because as college deadlines are getting closer and closer and midterms are getting closer and closer, I'm going to have to focus a little bit more on school and college and other more important things in life. But again, that is my hope, to finish this season up before the end of 2025. I think we can do it, but who knows exactly what life is going to throw my way. So because that, I, once again, do not want to make any promises. One last thing before we finally get into exactly what we're building here, I just want to wish my American audience a very happy Thanksgiving. It is one of my all-time favorite holidays, because of all the food, and what's Thanksgiving without family? It's all about family, Hobbs. I'm kidding, I've never watched Fast and Furious. Anyways, so for all you viewers who reside in the United States and celebrate Thanksgiving, wishing you all a very wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving. So anyways, so now on to exactly what is going on here. So as you can see, I've decided to reconfigure a couple of the buildings in our previous guest section, and a couple of the hotels I've decided to move over to the new guest section, so that way we can make way for some more amenities in the old guest section. And one thing that is pretty much the same in this new guest section that was the same in the one we worked on last episode, is that a lot of it is based entirely in experimentation and figuring out exactly what looks right and what would fit well where. And so when building guest plazas, one of the things I start by doing is creating defined shapes in the path and figuring out exactly what would go well in that area of path, whether it be a little nature outcropping with some foliage or some water, or whether or not some benches would look good there, or whether or not we could fit a building, or whether or not to just fill it with some sort of path design or some other decoration. So that's one thing that you'll definitely see over here. So like right over here, there's this area right across from the hotel that I thought would look good with a little pond, so that's what I ended up doing. And because of that, it really did a good job with breaking up the path, which is something that we desperately needed, and is something that's really good to take into consideration when building guest plazas, is how to break up the design. So yeah, so that's definitely one thing that I take into consideration when building these guest plazas. Alright, once again, I need to give my voice a break because, like I'd mentioned, I'm still technically sick. So because of that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I hope you guys enjoy the music that I put in. Again, shout out to Epidemic Sound, and I'll see you guys once this thing's done.
Alright guys, so all in all, I really love how this guest section looks. You've got that perfect balance of like plazas and like pathways, but you've also got the balance of like nature, so like you can see with these little like outcrops of like trees and foliage, and especially this like little artificial pond. Like, all in all, I love how this guest section looks. My favorite part has gotta be over here where we have the like Jurassic Park curved wall that's right up against the fountain. Just looks so awesome. Over here, love sort of like what I did over here, but I did that over here, just a smaller version. I do kind of like this guest section a tiny bit better, but all in all, I would say probably I would give this 9 chef's kisses out of 10. From now on, that's what we're gonna do, is we're going to rate our park builds out of chef's kisses, because after all, I am Italian. So overall, I would give this guest section 9 chef's kisses out of 10. And also, feel free to comment down below how many chef's kisses you would give this out of 10. As for this enclosure, I'd probably give this more of like an 8.5 chef's kisses out of 10. Love how it looks. A little bit on the larger side, especially for such a small selection of species. But yeah, so obviously I did also have to make a couple of improvements to this little guest section. Obviously, making the amenities a lot larger, which, again, didn't really affect the species in here. And then also, during this time-lapse, I sort of touched up on the little details, such as fixing up this janky little wall for the Lhotse. And also, I just realized the, like, detail that Frontier put into, like, the interior of the building. Well, specifically the, viewing gallery. Like, the interior looks absolutely stunning. And then I didn't really know what to put here, so I just made like a little outcrop, Mr. DNA. Ooh, maybe, little bit of an idea is, this is where guests would go, and, there would be sort of like a speaker, kind of like in Planet Zoo, where, guests can learn a little bit more about the Lhotse, as well as maybe sort of in between the Permian and the Triassic, sort of like what went on over there. And then also over here, I squeezed in a couple more amenities. I moved this viewing platform ever so slightly. Ooh, are we gonna see the Dang's fish get the shark? I doubt it. Ooh. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Stay calm, everybody. It's happening. Let's go! Got that on camera! Oh, that was awesome. And so yeah, I moved it slightly so that we could fit in this drink amenity. But yeah, so overall, we got a ton done this episode. To start, we added in several new species of prehistoric reptile, such as the Dimetrodon, as well as the Dunkleosteus. Honestly, thinking about it, I don't even think that this is a prehistoric reptile. Let me rephrase that. We added in several new prehistoric species. And then in here, we have the Ceratosaurus. Oh, perfect Galaxy Cerato. I remember this being Evolution Square's favorite skin. Oh yeah, I did quickly get rid of this body of water, because it felt a bit much, to be completely honest. And on top of that, we worked on a completely new section of the park. So we built this amazing guest section full of different plazas and nature outcroppings, as well as plenty of amenities and hotels and attractions and other guest facilities. Right over here, we've got the zip line that leads into this sort of central guest section that overlooks the Therizinosaurus, the Oviraptor, and the Mononykus. Here, we could probably see them better from here. You can see the Mononykus, see two of the Theries, and you can see an Oviraptor. Two Oviraptors, actually. And so, basically, these three guest sections are basically connected. So, really quickly, let's just ride the zip line. Whee! So, this zip line goes all the way to this miniature guest section, which is really only accessible to the Daring of Heart, or however that saying goes. I'm not entirely sure. Then we go over here, where it connects up to the guest section we built last episode. And then from here, it connects up to the guest section we built this episode. So yeah, so the plan for next episode is we're going to finish up the park. And we're going to do that by adding in the Achillibator, which will go right here. We're going to build this little guest section over here, which will overlook the Tarbosaurus enclosure. And then this will be for the Nemegt formation herbivores, being Dinocyrus, Gallimimus, and Homalocephali. And honestly, even what I might do is I might build another little guest section like right here. Build like a tour stop right here, and build a couple like smaller amenities, things of that nature. So yeah, with that being said, that is gonna wrap up today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If so, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see some more Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution 2 content. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.